you about somebody who has been worried and perhaps a little bit overly worried about what people are saying, who might be talking about their choices or their behavior, maybe even their past. So this could be somebody who's about to isolate themselves or block people on social media, feeling like whatever is going on in their personal life is being shared by the people that they thought they could trust. But if they're coming through as paranoid, then they may be kind of exaggerating what's really going on or what they need to be worried about. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. Oh, excuse me. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is additional information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Hello, GP. What's going on? Let's dive in. I think we're going to go with the Path of Shadows. We could have somebody who is maybe a little bit too focused on themselves, or we could have somebody who feels like they're a little bit of an outsider. This will help us kind of zero in on it. We have the Mummy and the Necromancer. Okay, interesting. Between the ancient past and the modern world, is there any place where I belong? And amidst the whispers of the dead, where my stories are spread, what should have been gone, still here remains. So I do feel like this is somebody who runs a bit from their own past or what people feel like they know about them. This could be somebody who's judged on their appearance or where they're from, how they speak, but they do feel like they're out of place or that most people don't really like them or understand them. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Robert. How are you doing? Hello, Renee. También, muy bien. What else? Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, Nine of Swords in the reverse, and the Emperor. Even though this person has, I think, gotten their life together, whoever this reading is for or about, this is the Emperor. They've been able to let go of connections that were troublesome or navigate some pretty difficult waters in their life, whether that has to do with accepting themselves or choosing a different path. They've gone through a lot of loss and somehow been able to stay very focused on what it is that they do. I feel like this is somebody who is known or popular or they have some level of success in a difficult field. But there are people who like to judge them, perhaps out of a little bit of jealousy, perhaps because there are people who are a little bit too preoccupied with where this person's from or what they've been through when they were younger. We have the Seven of Cups in the reverse, Magician in the reverse, Knight of Swords. So even though they come through as the Emperor now, the things that people say about them have to do with a time where they were seen as a magician in the reverse, someone who couldn't help themselves or somebody who had the ability to turn things around, but perhaps was too immature or didn't really want to deal with the problems. And that seems to be a lot of fun for people to talk about. With the Knight of Swords, it feels like the Emperor wants people to just like move on and start talking about other things. Like there's got to be better, I don't know, concepts or ideas or things. You don't necessarily have to talk about other people, but they're frustrated. Three of Swords, Ace of Swords in the reverse. So the paranoia seems to originate from a connection that has proven to be a disappointment, where the Emperor decided to trust somebody, decided to let them into the inner circle or give them a glimpse into what's really going on. And this individual who wanted to be their friend or perhaps be in a relationship with them has proven to be dishonest. They lied about who they are or what their intentions were. And this could be somebody who was really just trying to get close to them to get information. Hello, En France. Hello, Yadi. How are you? Hello, Darnell. Hello, Yesh. We've got the Hierophant in the reverse, the Fool, and the Lovers. So an unconventional path, but one that they have made the most out of. Like I said, I think this is somebody who's like an expert in their field, or if they've identified a new path forward, it's like they did it their own way. And even though some may feel like they don't do things the way they should, or maybe they were just lucky, this is somebody who's made difficult choices and invested in the right things. But when they maybe fell in love, or when they chose to accept someone as a friend or trust someone, perhaps even go into business with somebody, they found that this person was actually just trying to get close so that they could get some gossip, right? Hello, Sultan. How are you doing? Ooh, I don't know about that. Yeah, I take issue with your username. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Hello, Outlaw. How are you doing? Hello, Bree. What's up? Hello. How's it going? Seven of Wands and the Empress. Okay. There's protective energy here that the Emperor is unaware of. They may be hyper fixated on who's talking about me, who's trying to get me to trust them or let them in, just so that they can kind of, you know, get cool points or chase some clout. They do have somebody here who is a really good friend or someone who looks out for them. And I feel like they're going to be a little bit shocked to hear that they've got someone defending them like that. They may not be used to that. Oops. This is the Situations deck. The cinnamon, like brown sugar one, or s'mores? Hello, Seth. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. What about you? Ah, nice. We've got somebody whose intuition is helping them kind of like do a little bit of a reality check and make sure that they don't really, I don't know if I want to say go off the deep end, but if you start to think that you can't trust anybody, it can really have some devastating consequences in terms of walking away from friendships that are actually quite good, or causing drama that is unnecessary. So I feel like there's something here that reminds the Emperor that they have intuition. It will help them to navigate these things without feeling like they have to go kind of like scorched earth. And I feel like it's because this Empress, a friend or perhaps a love interest who has their back, somebody who is defending them or is protecting the information they have about the Emperor. They're not interested in, you know, social media likes, right? Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Hello, Rachel. What's up? Hello. How's it going, Messy Foe? Yeah. Of course we have gossip, because at the beginning we had that gossip card as well. But we have someone who's thinking about the long term. What can I do to make sure that I have an inner circle that's comprised of people who I can actually trust, people who are not looking for secrets to post in a magazine or on their social media, people who have gone through things on their own and respect other people, communicate in an honest way. So they're just more discerning, more selective about who they're connecting to. And I think they're happy to see that this Empress was somebody they trusted that really does deserve their trust. Nice. So we've got searching online, looking for info and records. Waves, emotions coming and going. So the paranoia could lead the Emperor to wondering whether or not they could actually trust this Empress, especially if they feel like it's a close friend or, you know, a new friend, perhaps. Someone, they have to figure out who's like trying to spread gossip or who is participating in that. And they're basically able to see that this Empress, maybe there's receipts of some kind, is not engaging in that behavior, is not interested in that. Maybe it's just that they don't even really have those social media accounts. But this Emperor is able to confirm that the Empress, friend or love interest, whoever they are, is someone that they can actually trust, even as there are some concerns with other people gossiping about them. This is the Egyptian Tarot. I'm doing well, thank you. Yes, shout out to the mods. They're pretty awesome, aren't they? We've got the King of Cups in the reverse and the Page of Wands. This is the person who has been dishonest, right? It's not the Empress. So there's a younger person. Now that could mean that we've got someone who's 60 and someone who's, 57. But the Page of Cups is telling me this is someone who's maybe emotionally less mature, but probably also from an age standpoint, a little bit less experienced, a little bit more willing to take a risk, maybe more susceptible to thinking that you can get away with things and there will be no consequences. We have the Ace of Cups. I feel like this is someone who's talking about probably a love interest. So let's say this Emperor is someone who is somewhat famous, or there's people who are curious about what's going on for the Emperor in terms of their love life. If they are pursuing or like in a flirtation with this Empress, that could be what has leaked or what people are talking about. And could be why the Emperor was initially thinking, I might not be able to trust this Empress. Then they find out, okay, they're good. Who's the person who's talking? It's this King of Cups in the reverse, who is probably, like, it could be like a younger sibling. It could be someone that they're training at work, like this is someone who feels like information regarding the Emperor's love life is something they can sell or something that people want to hear about. Four of Pentacles in the reverse, Six of Pentacles in the reverse, Strength. There was perhaps an argument here where the Emperor accused the Empress of being the person to talk about their connection. There could have even been talk of like not seeing each other again, or feeling like, of course you gave into that temptation. Like, how could you resist? Everybody wants that, right? I'm sure they're offering you money or something. Hello, Anne. How are you doing? Thank you, Rachel. So there could be gossip that's actually about this person's past, about the Emperor's past, or this gossip could be not factual, but it's about this person's past. And it could be something that might cause an issue if they're looking to be in a relationship with this Empress. It could be, here's what's going on with this person after they went through this, messy breakup. But it's made them feel like they don't have the ability to be themselves, or stop worrying about who's going to hear what they're saying, or is somebody like screenshotting my messages to them, that kind of thing. Five of Cups in the reverse, Seven of Swords in the reverse. Once they confirm that the Empress is someone they can trust, that this Empress is not the person who's spreading gossip, it helps them to calm down a little bit. Remember that they have this discernment and think a little bit more clearly about who it is that could be spreading this information about them. And I do feel like they're able to zero in on this King of Cups in the reverse. This could be somebody who's jealous. This could be somebody who just like doesn't really know better. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, Five of Wands. This King of Cups in the reverse is specifically leaking information because they want the Emperor and the Empress to no longer be in a relationship. So what does that mean? This could be a person who feels like the relationship is a threat to the Emperor's money-making abilities. And if this King of Cups in the reverse makes more money, if the Emperor is single, they may be trying to break up the relationship. They may also feel like any press is good press. So if there's people talking about whether or not the Emperor and the Empress are going to break up, that might promote a movie better or what have you. But this is somebody who gives information or says something about the Emperor with the intent of the Empress being kind of like, not sure if they want to put up with this, not sure if they want to be in a relationship, and the Emperor questioning whether or not they can trust the Empress. Hope you can keep track of that. Basically trying to maybe even use tabloids or social media to get somebody's relationship to be less of a focus, either because I want to be with that person or because it's impacting like availability or dedication to my ability to make money. Yes. What are some potential star signs for the Empress? Keeping in mind, of course, that the Empress is not necessarily a woman. Interesting. I have 2 7s. The number 7 could be important. 7 of Cups, 7 of Swords. Ace of Wands in the reverse, Ace of Swords. So I do feel like this leans a bit heavily towards Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, with the possibility that we also have some Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I don't believe there's a lot of fire energy here, and there's no representation coming from the Pentacles. The thing is, I do feel like there's a possibility we have some similarities between the Emperor and the Empress. Of course, in the tarot, Emperor would be fire and Empress would be earth. Hey, Chevalier, I'm going to talk about whatever I want to. We've got Death and Prince of Pentacles. This is also saying it's somebody, the Empress is somebody who's gone through a pretty dramatic change in their life over the last year, up to 5 years. Somebody who has been working, like they've been, I would use the term bullish. They've been very focused on doing things in a particular way, very strategic, which could also kind of highlight that air sign, like intellectualism, right? Hello, bitch Tata, what's up? No worries, GG. All right, what else do we have? Princess of Cups. Another reference to the Page of Cups, somebody who's younger or less experienced. Somebody who may feel like whatever they're doing is going to make them money or get them some notoriety, but they're on purpose trying to cause tension or friction between the Emperor and the Empress and hoping to plant some concerns. Maybe this isn't really like true gossip or true information. It could be somebody suggesting the Emperor is seeing someone else just to try to unsettle or make this Empress feel less confident about their connection with the Emperor. I like that, Darnell. Excuse me. Hold on. I have Dr. Pepper for this. So we've got the Ace of Cups following the Nine of Wands. Defensive energy, protective energy. I'm not willing to assume the worst of somebody. I want to make sure I trust but verify. So we have somebody that's basically saying, once I looked into it, I realized that someone was just trying to make the Empress look like someone I couldn't trust. This is the Tree of Life. But when they look into it, they see that this Empress is absolutely someone that they can trust. They're not interested in the same things this King of Cups in the reverse is, which is probably some sort of fame or notoriety or recognition, maybe even just like straight up cash, right? This is the Tarot of the Cat People. Hello, Mona. How are you doing today? What else do we have? King of Wands in the reverse. Four of Pentacles in the reverse and the World. I think there is some envy with this King of Cups in the reverse also coming out as the King of Wands in the reverse. Remember, they don't have to be a man just because it's king. That's just energy. But this person who's jealous of the Emperor is looking at everything that the Emperor has and feeling like it's not fair. Like, why is everything just handed to you? Why do you have all these great connections? Isn't it time that you like share a little bit of the wealth or let somebody else have the limelight for a bit, right? So I think they post something on social media, or they like sell a picture or share some private information, and it's meant to make the Emperor look bad or create doubt in the relationship, perhaps in both the Emperor and the Empress's minds. I don't think it works. I think, like I said, the Emperor takes a look at some facts, maybe looks at social media, and they can see Empress is clean. They didn't do anything. They're not out here gossiping. They're not trying to, you know, benefit from this connection. Any kind of, I don't know, inferring or implying that somebody talked to this Empress to get this information, it proves to be an illusion. Four of Wands, Queen of Cups in the reverse. So this makes the Emperor focus more so on, or get closer to realizing it's this King of Cups in the reverse. Someone who may be really focused on a project, or can I get paid more money, or can I do this, or, you know, I'm trying to get my own business off the ground. Whatever they've been up to makes it more likely they're the person who actually caused the drama. So this Emperor's no fool. They have good intuition. They start trying to put together a conversation or an approach to basically ask some questions or confirm what they're thinking. That this King of Cups in the reverse started some drama and tried to point the finger at the Empress in order to cause them relationship issues. Hello, Chrono. How are you doing? Hello, Derek. Hello, Abhinav. I would love it if you subscribe, and if you're talking about the memberships, also appreciate that. Hello, how's it going, McLovin? Hello, Nelson. What's going on? So we've got the Two of Swords in the reverse, Three of Pentacles in the reverse, and Death in the reverse. I feel like because the Emperor has been pretty decent about maintaining a smaller inner circle and listening to their intuition if somebody doesn't seem like they're really trustworthy, it doesn't take them too long to realize if it wasn't the Empress, then it must be this person. Kind of like it's a Sudoku game, but like towards the end when you're like, okay, I see, oh, yep, this one got you. The puzzle isn't too difficult for them to solve. And the goal then is, how do I get this person to admit to it, or how do I like actually prove this? Because I don't think they want to just like walk away and like not deal with it. I think they want to talk to this person and figure out what's going on for their own edification, or just to like, you know, be able to address it and say this is going to need to stop. Maybe they have to fire someone. Maybe they have to block someone. Hello, Japri. Hello, Brian. How are you doing? We've got Six of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and the Lovers, which is also number 6. So this is a lot to do with someone's success. because you are seen as successful, because people enjoy whatever you bring to the world, whether it's music or art, or I don't know, maybe they write books, maybe they are a part of a fabulous band, I don't know, but someone's comparing their life to the emperor's and feeling like they should be able to somehow manufacture like a better existence or a better lifestyle. So they feel like they should be able to make a decision to, I don't know, make some quick money, feel better about their life versus the emperor's. It could even just be, I wanted you to like kind of look silly for a little bit because everybody's always talking about how great you are. You know, Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. There's that King of Wands, Six of Swords. But this trap that was set for them, or this thing that was meant to be such a victory for the King of Cups in the reverse, it doesn't go well because, again, we've got intuition and discernment. The Emperor is like, I think I'll just be very cautious before I assume things. I'm not going to just follow everybody else's lead. Sometimes you have to question. Sometimes you have to do your own research or do your own math, right? If you've ever played Scrabble before, you know you got to make sure that the score is being tabulated correctly. So we've got the Two of Cups and the Four of Cups. You thought I would reject my relationship, or you thought you would cause an argument. You thought that maybe we would get frustrated with each other, but in reality, it looks like this person who I thought maybe was a friend has a desire to benefit financially or like popularity-wise due to working for me or being my friend, living up the street from me. So we've got a desire to end a friendship, fire an employee, or, you know, distance themselves from this King of Cups in the reverse. I'm not going to give you any other information. I'm not going to continue to be your friend. Hello, Great Papyrus. How are you doing? Queen of Wands in the reverse. Three of Wands. Knight of Pentacles and Ace of Swords. Yeah. Taking action, walking away from this person, realizing they're not a good, like, trustworthy individual. So I'm just going to make sure that I address whatever the rumors are in a civil or respectful way, but also close up whatever that problem was in my social circle, because I don't want people to continue to start things from nothing. So tried to get two people to break up, but ended up having their own situation kind of downgraded, right? We used to be friends, now we're not, or we used to be on good terms, now we're not. I used to employ you, now I don't. Hey, Patrick, how are you doing today? Thank you, GP. We've got the Ten of Wands, Ace of Cups in the reverse, Six of Swords in the reverse. Now there are people who maybe don't want to be friends with this King of Cups in the reverse, or maybe what would have been a really great experience to add to their resume is going to be a little bit difficult to talk through. They basically cause themselves some problems by trying to benefit unfairly from their connection to the Emperor. So they have some learning to do. They probably have to explain themselves or do some introspection. For some of you, this King of Cups in the reverse is not going to learn their lesson the first time around. They're just going to be real focused on how what they wanted is something they didn't get, and that's all that they can think about. But, ooh, we have 3 5s here. 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups. We also have the 9 of Swords, but then we have the Hierophant, which is number 5. 5 is about change. This person's going to be put in a situation, King of Cups in the reverse. Do you want to learn from this? Do you want to learn how to be a more trustworthy individual? Or are you going to keep playing some games? Are you going to keep, betraying people that really are like trying to do right by you. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Oh, that's so sweet of you, Brian. Thank you. Well, we appreciate you nonetheless, Rachel. We have the Hermit in the reverse and the Lovers in the reverse. So this is why we say you have to be careful about what energy you put out there. If you're wishing negative for others, that often comes back onto what you're working on or what you want to achieve. If you're focused on your energy and you're very positive and supportive of the people around you that need it, you very often will get that energy back. But we can't expect better from others than we're willing to offer. At least not in my book. I don't know. You ever have difficulty with somebody who's just like always nice and you're like, do you ever have a bad day? I think we've got a King of Cups in the reverse who, for some of you, they're going to learn a lesson. But probably for the majority of you, this King of Cups in the reverse feels like a situation that should have benefited them, did not, and they're going to try to find another way to get what they want. But if they can't get it from the Emperor, it has to be somebody else. So they may go look, try to seduce somebody new, try to befriend somebody new, leverage their connections in a way, right? But they're not able to get what they want because of those negative intentions that they had towards the Emperor who was doing right by them. So I think I'm actually going to leave it there. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next reading.